and live on YouTube with Lauren Munt and weather with Tom Tiefertiller.
Thanks for joining us for First Alert 7 News on the CW, and thanks to those of you joining us live on our YouTube. I'm Lauren Munt, and topping our news tonight, Buena Vista ISD has announced on their Facebook page that all schools in the district will be closed tomorrow and Friday due to a, quote, tragic accident. Counselors will be available for all students and staff in need of their services. But right now, that's all the information that we have. We are working actively to find out more on the situation, and we'll update you as we learn more. And we are your First Alert station for news all across West Texas. We're told that by Texas DPS that 3 people are dead after a 2-vehicle crash on FM 1053. That's about a mile south of State Highway 329 near Imperial. They're asking that you avoid the area. Now, those details are all that we have at this time, but we'll of course continue to keep you updated as we learn more. And as your first alert for tracking crime in the Permian Basin, tonight we're bringing you details on an infant abuse case out of Midland. Malachi James Kendrick, you can see him there, was arrested on charges of injury to a child causing serious bodily injury. Midland law enforcement responded to Midland's hospital on Sunday for reports of child abuse, where they learned that a 2-month-old child with life-threatening injuries had been taken to a Lubbock hospital. The investigation then revealed that a child had been with Hendrick, and he was arrested and is currently being held in the Midland County Detention Center. Now, a special report for you now. New problems demand new solutions, including when it comes to fighting crime. In this special report by Jacob Brandenburg, he shows us the cutting-edge technology, that local law enforcement uses on a daily basis.
Robots, drones, and tanks.
You know, over the years, law enforcement's come a long way.
Let's start with the Ector County Sheriff's Office MRAP. That's mine resistant, ambush protected.
I feel 100% secure in this.
We've had incidents in the past, like Victor White. We've had an incident back in 2019 where we got in a shooting as well. We can utilize it pulling up to a residence, and if we take rounds, we can block it to where the rounds hit the armored vehicle instead of other houses or, God forbid, any citizens or anything like that. Part of the attachment on the front end that we can extend it and we can hit a door, pop a door open or a window. We have a winch on it, so if we need to hook onto something and rip it off or pull it off.
So we use this pretty much in every scenario we go to. High-risk search warrants, it's bulletproof. So we feel comfortable sitting inside of it. We can move right up to a structure, give commands over the PA.
This is the Midland County Sheriff's Office. You need to come out with your hands up.
Over in Midland, they have their own armored vehicle. And while it may not be military grade like the one in Ector County, the Bearcat gets the job done.
We can attach this breaching tool. It's called a penetrator. This particular piece of equipment is utilized for breaching things such as cement walls, brick walls, things like that. And we've got to punch a hole inside of a residence.
But sometimes a more subtle approach is needed. That's when this guy rolls in. His name is Wally.
Night vision, infrared, a pan here off a 12-gauge blank shotgun with water. Just shoot water through the door, break out either the hinges or the doorknob. I can open car doors, house doors, basically just about anything.
Look at the sheriff's office. Come out with your hands in the air.
Oh, and he talks too. Then there is the eye in the sky. Both sheriff's offices have drone teams.
They can be here at a staging point, and I can go to wherever the target is, and I can show them this is what this looks like, so they have a better idea of what they're actually walking into before they get there. We actually have a smaller drone that we can put inside of a house or a building or any type of structure before you have to put any actual cops inside. We can fly a drone inside and see what's inside, get a better idea, just to help things safer for the guys that end up having to actually go inside.
And that's the point of all of this. Not a war on crime, but safety for you, the officers, and even the criminals.
So this is going to save officers from getting injured or possibly getting killed.
As the commander, I'm looking at the liability standpoint as well as keeping my guys safe and keeping anybody else safe that's inside of that structure.
My mindset's more on getting to that location and either serving that search warrant safely and getting us in and out, and everybody that's there safe as well, including the individual we're going for. It's a great tool to have, especially to be able to do our job safely and correctly for the citizens of Odessa and Ector County.
You're probably wondering, what does this all cost? Well, a battle wagon is about $350,000. A robot like Wall-E is around $95,000. And these drones cost $10,000 to $15,000 a piece, depending on what bells and whistles you get. And yes, some of that is coming from your tax dollars, but they also receive donations and get money from other funding programs. Reporting for First Alert 7 News, I'm Jacob Brandenburg.
Thank you, Jacob. Now, we are your first alert on all things winter weather, and as we get closer to the chilly temperatures, we want to let you know that the Parks and Recreation Department for the city of Odessa has begun winterizing all the restrooms in all city parks. That means that they'll be closed for the rest of the season. We're going to take a pause now and talk your weather forecast with meteorologist Sawyer McElroy. Sawyer, let's talk a little more about those chilly temperatures.
Yeah, we saw those chilly temperatures this morning as we started off the day with those areas in the northern Permian Basin into southeast New Mexico dropping near that freezing mark. Temperatures across the state currently sitting in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. A little bit closer to home, we're seeing temperatures in the 40s, 50s, and 60s as well. 48 in Midland, 46 here in Odessa, hanging on to 50s and 60s for far southern portions of the region. Winds anywhere from being calm to about 15 miles per hour, but even with those light winds, we are seeing some wind chill values, especially across the northern Permian Basin into southeast New Mexico, where it's already feeling like the mid-30s in some spots. We are seeing clear skies and quiet conditions though, but as we head through tonight, going to be another chilly start to our Thursday. Not quite as cold as we saw this morning, but still want to grab those jackets as you head out the door for your Thursday morning. And here's a look at our First Alert weather headlines. Like I mentioned, another chilly start to the day, but we are seeing some unseasonably warm temperatures ahead for the weekend. The good news is Thanksgiving weather is looking great.
Thank you, Sawyer. Returning to some health headlines now. In honor of National Rural Health Day, more than 350 people attended a conference and recruitment fair that was focused on serving underserved communities. First Alert 7's Isabella Garriga was at the Marriott in downtown Odessa where the event was held. She joins us now with how it went and what she learned. Isabella?
Since 2011, the National Organization of State Offices of Rural Health has designated the third Thursday of November, so tomorrow, as National Rural Health Day. This day celebrates the power of rural.
We've highlighted many of the challenges that are ever present in rural healthcare. I think what we need to do more of is highlight the joys of being a rural healthcare professional.
The event celebrated rural healthcare workers while advocating for improved access and support in these communities. Attendees included representatives from rural areas like Alpine, Grand Falls, McAmey, Rankin, and Crane, alongside high school students from these communities. College students from Odessa College, Midland College, UT Permian Basin, Sul Ross State University, and Texas Tech Health Sciences Center also participated, exploring pathways to impact rural healthcare. For students, the event offered a clear message. The need is great, and the work is worthwhile.
There's a lot of options, there's a lot of need, and I really enjoyed getting to talk to, the different high school students and even some college students about, the pathway to pursuing a healthcare profession, how rewarding it is, how long it is, but also, the great need there is for people willing to undergo that sacrifice.
For professionals like Dr. James Stadin, the reward lies in building connections, making an impact, and giving back to the community.
It's been rewarding to be able to pour back into the community where I was raised, right? So I understand the culture, I understand the people and the challenges that they face in rural healthcare. So being able to just be that family doctor that they feel comfortable coming to with their medical problems, and really just that personalized care that I think is lacking so much now in our healthcare system, I see that patients have really appreciated it.
And this connection was a theme throughout the event.
In a good way, in a caring way, I think you're able to exhibit love for your patients. And by love, I don't mean in an intimate or an icky way, but I mean in a caring way of accompaniment of these patients throughout their challenges and their joys throughout their lifespan.
National Rural Health Day recognizes the dedication of rural healthcare providers, communities, and organizations working to overcome the unique challenges of rural America. Tomorrow, don't forget to thank those that you know make a difference in these communities. Reporting for First Alert 7 News, I'm Isabella Griga.
Thank you, Isabella. Across West Texas, Representative Brooks Landgraf has proposed creating a Texas severance tax revenue and oil and gas natural gas defense fund, that would benefit the Permian Basin. It's being introduced to the Texas legislature as Texas Strong. Texas Strong would address infrastructure, education, healthcare, and public safety needs right here in the basin. Representative Landgraf says Texas Strong is the practical solution to ensuring that the community has the resources it needs to meet energy sector demands. It'll also be considered in the upcoming session of the Texas legislature, which convenes on January 14th. And it's no secret that West Texas is the land of oil and gas, which is why it's pretty noticeable when someone's driving an electric vehicle, specifically Cybertrucks. Now, despite the fact that it runs on electricity and its strange geometric shape, it's the Cybertruck that really all that different from the other cars we see every day.
It's definitely shaped different, but if you look at the specs of it, it's basically the same thing. When Tesla designed these, they had to compete with Ford and GM and Dodge, right? I mean, they had to put the same bed space or better. They had to put the same size and wheelbase so it fit in people's garage or parking spots or whatever.
You can watch my special report about going electric in oil and gas country tomorrow night on First Alert 7 News at 6, 10, and of course right here at 9 on the CW. Midland is quickly expanding west with new places to play sports and a new Costco coming to Highway 191. Now, they have to make sure that these projects are properly funded. They plan to do that by changing how your taxes are being used, which is why the Midland City Council introduced 2 new possible tax increment reinvestment zones. Let's break it down. Firstly, more funds will go towards new infrastructure needs in West Midland. That means new streetlights, roads, and intersections to help with traffic flow, which will all be important, especially once the new Costco is built. Secondly, it means giving funds the Loop 250 corridor from 191 to Business 20 and the Scarborough Sports Complex for future maintenance and upgrades, which was previously funded by sales tax.
We can become a hub for regional youth tournaments and sports, and the sports complex plays a very important role in that. And so keeping it up, maintaining it, but also continuing to grow it is really critical. And this is a new funding source that will help us do that.
The Midland City Council plans to add Beal Park in the ordinance of the future, securing funds for improvements there. Now, a final proposal is expected on December 17th. And we are a day away from the 2A volleyball state championships. We're talking local sports now because the Wink Wildcats are prepared to face Johnson City in Garland. Tomorrow's match will be at 7 o'clock, and Wink is coming off of a sweep last night against Boxeyville. Wink is 41-7 on the season, and they face Johnson City Lady Eagles, a team who's 37-8 on the season. In some college volleyball, the Odessa College Lady Wranglers fell to Missouri State West Plains this afternoon in 3 sets. Tomorrow, they'll face Eastern Arizona College in a double elimination. And it was announced yesterday that the UTBB Falcons football team will be playing in the Heritage Bowl on December 7th. They finished their season with a 7-4 record, and they've qualified. The team will face number 25 Central Missouri in Corsicana. That'll be at Tiger Field. We'll be airing that game live on KWWT My 30. Coverage begins at 11 a.m. Now, this is the second straight year that the Falcons will be playing a postseason game, and we at First Alert 7 wish them the best. Now, we've got playoff football games going on tomorrow night. Canyon, Randall, and Andrews will be matched up in Lubbock tomorrow. Benbrook and Greenwood, they'll be playing at Abilene Wiley High School. Kickoff for that game at 7 o'clock. Monahans and Graham, they'll play in Sweetwater. Then over in Six-Man, Sands and Follett will kick off at 7:30. The First Alert Sports team will have even more local sports coverage for you tonight at 10, so be sure to tune in. Coming up, if you're into Hamlet, Romeo and Juliet, or even A Midsummer Night's Dream, well, then you're going to want to stick around for details on an event that's happening this weekend. We want to be the first to alert you to an event that's happening this weekend. That'll be Friday and Saturday. The Texas Shakespeare Festival Roadshow Troupe will perform 2 performances to the public. That'll start on Monday, November 18th. 7 actors will hit the stage to debut at this year's Shakespeare Festival. But this year's performance is extra special because it's happening right here in Odessa at our very own Globe Theater.
It is so exciting. It genuinely feels like it's interacting with the work in the way it was meant to be interacted with. This stage allows for way more audience interaction. We're getting to go up to different levels, so it gives us a chance to make different choices with each scene.
Tickets are on sale now for both performances at odessashakespeare.org. General admission is $10, and it's only $5 for Odessa Art members, students, and teachers.
We are looking ahead to another chilly start to our Thursday, but overall we are seeing a warming trend as we head into the weekend. I'll have all the details and what to expect coming up next.
Now from the First Alert 7 Weather Center, here's meteorologist Sawyer McElroy.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Overall, it was a cool day across West Texas and Southeast New Mexico, but here's a look at our First Alert weather headlines. Another chilly start to the day is expected coming up for our Thursday, but we are first alerting you to an unseasonably warm weekend ahead. Thanksgiving weather, though, is looking great. And here's a look at what you will need coming up tomorrow morning. Like I mentioned, it will be chilly, not quite as cold as we saw this morning, but you should grab that coat, maybe hat and gloves as well. And a warm beverage is not needed, but you know it is that time of year when a coffee is a little bit extra nice in the morning. High temperatures, though, overall, like I mentioned, starting a little bit of a warming trend with that unseasonably warm weather on the way for the weekend, especially coming up for our Sunday, where temperatures are looking to be about 14 degrees above normal for this time of year. A ridge of high pressure is off to our west, and that will continue to build over the next couple of days and slide east, bumping our temperatures up across the region. Like I mentioned, though, for today, pleasant day out there with temperatures warming into the 50s, 60s, and even a few 70s as well. Currently, temperatures are starting to drop, though, into the 40s and 50s across the region. Winds are light out across the area, anywhere from being calm to about 10 miles per hour, but we are seeing some wind chills, especially across the northern Permian Basin and into southeast New Mexico, where things are feeling like the 30s. already at this lovely 9:20 hour. Looking at our satellite and radar tonight, clear skies, quiet conditions, and those do look to continue as we head through the overnight and into our Thursday, and that will help to cool things down into those 30s across the majority of the region. We are looking to see a little bit more cloud cover though coming up for our Thursday. Like I mentioned, those clear skies continuing, lows dropping into the 30s and 40s. The majority are looking at the 30s though. Midland 38, 39 here in Odessa overnight as we head into our Thursday, but we do start a little bit of a warming trend with those highs into the 60s and 70s. 68 is expected for tomorrow's high in Midland, 69 here in Odessa, 71 for Marfa, 71 for Fort Stockton as well, 74 for Presidio. And those winds throughout the day will be light. Looking ahead to our First Alert 7 10-day forecast, continuing our warming trend through the weekend with a high of 78 by Sunday. A little bit of a cool down courtesy of a cold front on Monday, but overall above normal temperatures do look to remain throughout the majority of the extended forecast.
Breaking news for you now regarding the crash we first alerted you about earlier in this show. Texas DPS and the president of the Buena Vista School Board have confirmed to First Alert 7 that the 3 who died in the crash near Imperial tonight were Buena Vista students. The school district will be closed for the rest of the week, but counselors will be available on campus for those who need their services. Now, this is an active investigation, and we will update you as we learn more. Turning across Texas, it's been 25 years since the bonfire stack collapse at Texas A&M University. The group at A&M Traditions Council say that they're focused on the future and finding new ways of keeping the spirit of the bonfire and those lost in the tragedy alive. People all have the same idea, to make sure, even though 12 lives were lost on this day 25 years ago, that the memory of them never disappears.
I think that these 12 students deserve to have their legacies honored by the entirety of the student body.
Founded in 1975, the A&M Traditions Council was put in place to promote and preserve traditions.
The Aggie spirit deserves to be cultivated as best it can.
Bonfire chair for the organization Truett Mars is only 19 years old. Born 6 years after the bonfire incident of 1999 at Texas A&M that claimed 12 lives. However, he still knows the importance of honoring the tradition.
Both of my parents went to Bonfire. My dad participated in Cut and Stack. And so I grew up hearing stories all across campus about what Bonfire represented and how it united our student body.
A feeling he shares with fellow Aggies who came to the memorial on campus Monday to pay their respects to the lives lost.
It's an important part of our university's history, our Aggie spirit, just to honor the sacrifices made and just always keep to our commitment to remember them.
I wanted to come in the middle of the night at 2:42 a.m., but did not make it out. Obviously the weather was bad throughout the day, but felt like when we saw that break we could come out here and really spend some time honoring the 12 that died.
Regardless of how many years pass by since the deadly bonfire, current and former students, along with the Traditions Council, will work to be sure that the memory never fades away.
Because of the culture and the campus and the student body that we have, we are truly capable of overcoming any hardship that is thrown our way.
All right, a final check of our forecast before we leave you. If you aren't a fan of the cool weather that we have been seeing today, good news, we are going to see things warming up starting tomorrow, continuing through the weekend. A cold front on Monday will cool things down a little bit closer to where they should be just in time for Thanksgiving.
I'd rather it stay cold.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks for joining us for First Alert 7 News at 9 on the CW. We've got more news coming up tonight at 10.